Hey everybody, welcome to ClausenWorld. I have been in a propagation mode. I've been wanting to propagate as much as possible. And I found a rose bush that I thought was so pretty a couple days ago. I'm not a huge rose fan. Excuse me. I need to get something to drink, y'all. I'm not a huge rose fan, but there are some roses that I find to be extremely exquisite. This particular rose was a deep, deep red color. Now, I generally love the yellow rose with the orange tips around the leaves. That's the only rose I've ever found that just really struck me, and I had to have it. I used to have the back fence of my homestead. The whole entire fence was nothing but roses, and I didn't have any but that type of rose. I don't know the name of it or the species, but that rose was so beautiful to me. But as I was driving a couple days ago, I found this deep red. I mean, it was so red. I haven't seen that kind of red in such a long time. I thought to myself, I had to have it. So I liberated some of that rose. Now, if you guys see smoke on the camera, I have some citronella sticks burning because I'm over in the little breezeway, and there's been some insects flying around. So I've got that burning. So if you see any smoke, that's what it is. I do apologize. But yes, I liberated some rose clippings, and I'm going to propagate them today. So let's get into this propagation, shall we? Come along. Okay, I have a couple pots down here. I've already propagated some green pecan, not saplings, but I always keep forgetting what those are called. Suckers, there we go. I propagated some green pecan suckers off of a tree that's growing nearby. And I did put them in a different pot, but I decided to make a change, and I put them in a 1 gallon pot. I've got 3 of them in there. So I know those are going to root because the ones I had in a much larger pot began to root before they went horribly wrong. That was my fault. I made a rookie mistake and didn't cover them. And so now they're covered. Over here I have some Russian sage. I also did the same rookie mistake. I didn't cover it. So that's the only pieces that I have. I might have to move these citronella sticks, y'all. They really starting to get me all up in the throat bone. Let's move these over this way. There we go. Let the wind blow them that way. But I have some Russian sage over here that I did not cover up, so it began to wilt. I'm hoping that it will bounce back because I do not have a lot of Russian sage in the garden. It died back tremendously this year, so I've got like one little stick of it left. So I was hoping to propagate that. So I'm going to leave these 2 here in the shaded area. Hopefully they will propagate for me. I do believe that the pecan will, because like I said, the last clippings I had that were green began to root, but rookie mistake, I didn't cover it and it wilted, and I didn't want to deal with the wilting because it was really, really bad, and I didn't want it to struggle, so I started that over. But I have high hopes for this, and so I'm going to take the rose clippings and I'm going to propagate those. Now these are the rose clippings. Let's move it over here. I picked 3 of them, and with roses you're supposed to get semi-hard pieces. This one is semi-hard. These 2, this one is partially semi-hard, and this one is partially semi-hard. So I'm not quite sure if these 2 here are going to do well, but I'm going to give them all the same try. It's really, really noisy around here today, guys. I do apologize. We've got children riding around on their mini cars, those little battery operated cars. She's got a beautiful little Mercedes. She's riding around playing her little music. It has radio, y'all. I don't know if it's Wi-Fi or what. It is the cutest little thing. but she riding up and down the street in her little Mercedes getting it. And the neighbors are moving around a lot. So if you guys hear a lot of background noise, I do apologize. It's just that time of the year where it's warming up, people are feeling a little freer, and so they're out and about, and it's really loud. So let me get into this. But I cut 3 rose clippings. I liberated 3. My husband was like, "Are you stealing again?" I'm like, "No, this is called liberation." So I liberated these 3. They're pretty long. I'm gonna move these 2 out of the way for right now. They do have thorns on them, so I need to be careful. This one doesn't look too bad, but the other one, it had thorns on it. It was really grabbing a hold. I cut them and placed them in water. So I did put a little bit of rooting hormone in the water because I wanted to make sure that it didn't wilt on me, and it did not wilt. If you guys can see how long that is. So I am going to take my shears and try to cut this down and I should be able to get about three good pieces off of this. I want to get at least 3 to 4 nodes on each one of these stems. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, here she come again, y'all, with that beautiful little Mercedes car. I would love to show you guys, but you can't put other people's children on video. It is the cutest thing. Okay, so my shears have been cleaned. I'm going to take the leaves off the bottom, just a couple of leaves, and I'm going to take this one is broken, so I'm going to take this one off, and I hope that's going to be enough leaves. So I'm going to cut it up under this node here like that. So that's going to be 1. I'm going to take this leaf off, this leaf off, this leaf off, that leaf off, and I'm going to cut it here up under this node, right about there. You go. That's number 2, and this will be the 3rd one off of here. So I will take this leaf, this one. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, these leaves are the ones that have like little thorns coming up under the bottom. Take these leaves off. I don't want to leave a lot of leaves on here, but I do want to leave a few just so that they get have the ability to photosynthesize. And then I'm going to just cut. I've already cut that, but I'm going to trim it just a little bit again, and I'm going to take and dip it in the rooting hormone, just like so. And I'm going to take it and put it in the pot. Now this soil is already moist. It's extremely moist. I'm not going to moisten it again. Do the same thing. I'm going to clip a piece of that at the bottom. I'm going to have to sharpen my shears again because it's not cutting cleanly now. And this is the original cut, so I'm going to cut it up under that node and dip it in the rooting hormone and stick it in the pot. And that is me propagating this beautiful red rose. And I'm also going to place a top over it like this. If I can find another, I don't drink soda, so I don't have any more. I got these out of the recycle bin at my office, and I cleaned them up, and I don't have any more. I've used all of them. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with this next clipping. So I'm gonna go through and clip these last 2 clippings and pot these up. And if these all survive, I will show you what they'll look like. So let me clip these up. I'm going to speed it up, and you guys will be able to see what it looks like. All right, everybody. I have finished clipping and trimming. Let me move you guys back so that you guys can see all of what I have down here. I have 8 clippings in these 3 pots of, and I don't know the variety. Like I said, they were liberated. So all I know is that they're a really deep, deep red, beautiful, full-bodied rose. And so if all of these survive, then I will end up with 8 tiny little rose bushes, and I'm so excited about that. I haven't had roses in a really long time. I hope you guys could hear me. I think I might have hit my microphone. I do apologize. As I was saying, I haven't had roses in a really long time, so I'm hoping that all of these survive and thrive and grow into beautiful rose bushes. And if they do, I will have 8 of them. So I'm actually, since I don't have any more soda bottles that I can put over the top to make miniature greenhouses, I'm actually going to place these in the greenhouse. I may have some more room in there. I've actually been filling it up. As you guys saw in the previous video, I potted up some bulbs, and so I put those in the greenhouse. I know you guys are probably wondering what I have over here, since they look empty, but these are elephant ears. I put elephant ear bulbs in these 3 pots right here, and the 4th pot is a ranunculus. You guys can't see it, so let me move you guys up just a tiny bit. So I've got ranunculus in this pot, and in this pot, and this pot, I put elephant ear bulbs. Now they have not come up yet, and I feel the need to go, pulling back the soil just a tiny bit just to see how they're doing. These bulbs I got on sale at a farm store. They were just thrown into a bushel basket, like an apple picking basket. They were about that big around, and they were all, I think, 75 cents if I'm not mistaken. And so I grabbed about 5 of them, since these were my elephant ears last year and they were all killed off. So I'm actually going to take a look and see if these are alive. But that is my propagation station right here, guys. I'm so excited to have all this stuff propagating. I'm going to leave the pecan and the Russian sage over here in the corner. I'm just going to leave them here since this doesn't get hardly any sun. This is very much shaded, but these 3 pots of the rose bushes, they're going to go in the greenhouse, and I'm going to see whether or not I'm going to get some rose bushes in about a month. I'm going to keep an eye on them, keep them as moist as possible, not too overly moist, but see if I can get some roots coming out of the holes at the bottom. That's how I'll know that it's doing what I needed to do. And as you can see, the water is dripping out. I already moistened the soil, so I don't have to moisten that soil anymore. I'm going to just put this in the greenhouse, and in a month's time, we'll see if I've got some roots coming out the bottom. And if I do, awesome. So thanks for joining me on today's video. I hope you enjoyed my quick view of my liberated rose bush propagation, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.